Nsfw. What was the most porno situation you've ever had? Delivered pizza to a hotel where a drunken orgy was going on. Customer gestured to me, then to the scene and asked, "Wanna play?" Turned him down because I was more concerned about paying rent. Also turned down his tip offer of a baggie of cocaine. He tipped me $50 though, so that was cool. I've heard drunken parties are the easiest way to get tips. They commonly give you money to keep quiet about the illegal things they do. Thanks for tip. Time to go tell my old pal Reddit. But don't worry, Reddit keeps secrets. In college I went streaking in the middle of the night through an empty field with 3 lady friends. 2 were pretty religious and I think that was the most raunchy thing they had ever done. Afterwards we laid out on a blanket, heads in on each other's bodies, still naked, and looked to the stars. That is as far as it went though. That sounds nice. I had a pest control guy come into my condo without really knocking when I was about 20 years old. I had just gotten out of the shower, so I was in only a bathrobe. I also had just done laundry, so all my delicates like brass, panties and lacy lingerie were hanging around to dry. I have no idea what that poor guy was thinking I was trying to do, but I swear I just didn't realize he was coming. Hopefully not on your clean delicates. My coworker came to my office and said, "Come with me." She starts leading me down to the basement where there's never any other people. Turns out she just needed me to carry something heavy. Oof. Better than getting murdered, mate. I was watching in the living room when my stepmom walked in. It was nothing like the simulations. I'm more amazed at the fact you were watching in your living room when your family was home. To be fair, sometimes you've got to watch the quality content on the big screen. Pub. Married couple sit down and start talking about a threesome with me, how they have done it before. I was young and dumb and got weirded out and left. She was hot too. Yes, but was the guy hot? Met a girl through a friend in college. She had a lot of issues with her laptop, so I came over one day and fixed it up for her. She paid me with her and finished me off on her face. She took a selfie with my phone and I haven't seen or spoken with her much since. Now you have to frame the picture. My friend called me to ask if I could help her change the shower head. Sure, no biggie. Then after I do it she asks if I want a massage. I'm laying on my stomach and next thing I know she's topless giving me a massage and things went from there. So were you getting the massage before you realized she was topless? The carpenter renovating my room thought I'm a straight guy. We were alone in the house. I finished taking a shower and was only in my towel, and I innocuously analyzed his shirtless torso in all its glory, wondering what routine is he doing in the GY, monsieur. Maybe I was staring too hard. He then approached me and tried to make out with me. I pushed him and laughed and said no. He said he thought I wanted to have with him with all the stares I was giving. Hi monsieur. Lesson learned: to be more aware how I'm staring at people. What routine was he doing? He was into calisthenics stuff. #edit missed opportunity to say me. I was in a bed with 2 girls and a guy all drunk, legit about to have a foursome until I ran out of the room puking and ruined the mood for everyone. You ruined that other guy's life, mate. A while back was doing some physical therapy and walking back and forth in some parallel bars. It was me, my therapist and a trainee who was shadowing her for a few weeks. She needed to check that my glutes were properly activating as I walked and he needed the experience to know what to look for. So I was slowly walking back and forth while they shuffled along behind me, a hand on each of my cheeks. The situation was normal, professional enough until another therapist walked into the room and sort of froze in surprise, trying not to laugh. It was hard to deny the ridiculousness of it after that. She needed to check. I've been gate training patients for a long time. I've never needed to check, but congrats on getting a double squeeze. Went to a friend's house party and ended up in a foursome with him, his girlfriend, and one of his girlfriend's girlfriends. I had way too much to drink though, so with that on top of the anxiety about the whole situation, I couldn't perform at all. I'm barely a twosome kind of guy, let alone a foursome. No idea how that whole thing happened. And GT, I'm barely a twosome kind of guy. I'm more of a handsome type of guy. Carrot edit. Carrot it, carrot blue, carrot up, carrot so, carrot fast, carrot Carrot. Right, you beautiful. With female roommate. We had just started season 1 of Doctor Who. She found it boring and legit said, "This is boring, wanna." Also prior to this she would walk around in thongs and bend over in front of me while doing laundry, and plenty of other random acts of accidentally doing stuff like this occurred. Do not worry, you eat. Ended up ruining everything a year later. As cool as it was, ruined our friendship and mutual friendships as well. How hot was she? How did you ruin the friendship? She was always attractive to me. It was one of those things where you know your friend is hot, but you've only been friends so nothing ever happens. Except it actually happened in this case, and it's because she slowly started getting attached even though we were both seeing other people. Afterwards, basically cut each out of our lives and the mutual friends sorta disappeared with it. A lady invited me to her place for dinner. She failed to mention that she was married and her husband and kid were at dinner too. It was incredibly awkward, but even more so when we went to room and I seen a camera lens poking out from underneath some clothes. I thanked her for dinner and bailed. So they were trying to secretly record you. When I hear stories like yours, that is what I always think they are trying to do. How hot was she? I lost my virginity working at a bar because my boss said to me, "Would you that girl over there?" I said, "Yeah, for sure." And he said, "You're cut. Punch out and take her home." To which I had to really wonder if he was with me. But no, he was not. Plot twist, boss didn't care about your love life. He just didn't want to pay you overtime. The boss paid a hooker for the shy boy. My mom hired a guy to build us a deck and I saw him looking at me through my upstairs window on the first day. He was super hot and Russian, and the idea of us being alone and him working while I brought him drinks and snacks was so exciting. He, being an 18-year-old, was already sold into the idea of my contractor. We fucked on the last day of installation. He was a good lay, but the deck turned out like good, bad deck. Well done to you anyhow. My freshman year of college, a girl was going door to door in the dorms offering to give head for someone to do her chemistry homework. Never been so upset I didn't pay attention in high school, monsieur. I had a similar situation, except it was high school and the class was math. She asked if I would do her math assignment. I, being a 16-year-old male, said, "Suck my." She countered with, "You do my assignment, I'll have with you." I did her assignment. I was barely passing math class. She got pissed cause I bombed her assignment, but beggars can't be choosers. Which did you do better, her or the assignment? Burning Man entered a tiny geodesic done with a girl. Two girls in bikinis followed us in and literally sat down and spread her legs wide open at me, grinning. I probably would have done the thing, but the girl I was with was not into it. To be fair, you dodged a burning sandpaper. Girl, spread eagle on my bed in short shorts talking about how flexible she is. Me. Are you even paying attention? You asked me who David Attenborough was and I'm showing you. Focus. Watch as the human male fumbles his mating opportunity with a willing female. This will be an important lesson he will remember next mating season. A childhood best friend who was like a little brother to me and I were on the couch, just hanging out, and suddenly on a whim, I just kissed him and it rapidly devolved into an entire evening of, we've been together a little under a year now, and he still jokes about little brother, older stepsister dynamic, even though we're just regular boyfriend and girlfriend now. Edit. He's a little over a year younger than me, so for 2 months of the year I'm 2 years older than hi monsieur. He exclusively referred to me as his cougar girlfriend during this time. Oh maidens in your savage season abridged. Back when I delivered pizza, I was greeted at the door by a woman wearing the skimpiest of clothing, nearly completely see-through. I think she noticed that I was looking at her nipples and she mentioned her and her husband were swingers. Asked me to come inside, but my anxious declined, so she just took off her top and gave me some cash. In about 4 hours I'll be going to my pizza delivery job. I'm praying something like this happens. Spoiler, it won't. And if it does, the person won't be attractive in the slightest. I was a cable guy. I did an install at an apartment that turned out to be a studio. They were interviewing a girl for a potential job, asking what sort of scenes she'd be open to doing. As I recall, she was into stuff and interracial, but not anal. Nothing happened. happened, but in my mind I was thinking, I'm pretty sure this is how most 1980s scenes start. I could see that being a modern ad, something like you're listening in on the interview, they leave and you come back saying you're there for the casting couch portion of the interview. You on the couch and afterwards you sneak out the back door and the interviewers are wondering why she's suddenly naked. Scene. Get this man an Oscar. We have a black leather couch in the office. My boss had one in his office until we started making vines parodying those types of "That's beautiful." When my sister's French exchange student came to the UK to stay with us after she left university, to help improve her English. One night after a few too many drinks she came into the bathroom while I was having a shower and everything went way better than expected. She took a while. You showered. Nice. Was talking with a co-worker at my office. I don't even recall what she said, but I responded with, you suck. She looked at me slyly and said, yes, but do I swallow? She did. Just goes to show that attractive girls can use the lamest pickup lines with great success. I invited a girl over to watch movies at my apartment. 30 minutes in she just turns to me and says, I'm surprised we haven't fucked yet. That was my cue, folks. Everyone knew there was an attraction between us. I had a girlfriend at the time and she was at the end of a crumbling marriage. Neither of us would have acted on it due to both circumstances. We just remained friends. 9 or so months later she was separated and I had broken up with my girlfriend, so we acted on it. Had a FWB relationship with her for a year and 1/2. Senior year I took a shower with 2 girls at once. So how's mom and grandma doing these days? Pizza delivery but without. So you didn't get the extra sausage? Unfortunately not. I was hanging out with an ex-GF that I occasionally still had with and a girl I had a crush on. The two of them started making out. I got to join in. It got as far as the crush getting topless. There were some follow-up sessions, but the crush was nearing graduation from college and realized she hadn't done any sexual experimentation. The ex was into it, but only so long as a guy was involved somewhere. It's not if it's in a three-way. My friend and I were hanging out on his apartment rooftop one summer night drinking. We ended up talking to this group of girls, one of whom was very petite and in a bikini since there was a pool there. We were talking for a while before this random lady and cameraman showed up and asked if we would be willing to be interviewed for a documentary she was filming on millennials and their views on the world or something. My buddy and I agreed, and she also convinced the girl to join too. So they sat the 3 of us down on this couch and made her sit in the middle. It was badly lit. We were all a little buzzed, and the director kept making us sit closer and closer together until this poor girl was basically sitting in our laps as we were filming, and she was asking us these vague questions. I realized how this must look on tape. Me, a bigger kinda heavy white dude with a full beard, this tiny white girl in a bikini, and then this short but toned Indian man with a beard, in some kind of awkward sandwich on a couch in poor lighting. I just knew it looked like the casting couch for an interracial threesome porno.